There are young women who want to look like their favorite K-pop star, and others who simply want to make their wrinkles disappear. Beauty matters to many of us, but how far are we willing to go? Beauty has always been sought after, and let's face it, we like to look at pretty, beautiful things. But modern medicine has now allowed us to do so much more. Hi everyone, you're watching Women Talk. I'm Deborah.
And I'm Siti Saleha. So Deborah, here's a straightforward question to you. How extreme are you willing to go when it comes to beauty?
Well, I have, I'm quite daring. I'm willing to try a lot of different procedures, but I have my way of making that happen.
Okay, awesome. All right, I think everybody, wants to seek validation. It's fine, and it's fine to have that perfect look. But how far are you willing to go?
Exactly. Right? How far? And joining us today, we have a very special guest.
It's Dr. Katalina, a medical practitioner now practicing aesthetic medicine, and she is also a talented singer and actress. Welcome to the studio, Dr.
Wow.
Kat.
Thank you for having me.
We've got a superwoman in the house tonight.
So
we have
us
pretty ladies as well.
Well, let's just jump straight into it. Since Sally was like, what are you willing to do, Deborah? I'm willing to do a lot. What are your experiences when you speak to so many women out there? You meet all kinds of individuals. What has that been like?
Beauty and women's, okay? It's like so synonyms, yeah? Women are born with the nature of wanted to be look pretty,
That's
okay?
right.
We want, that's nature, all right? So when we talk about this, and then the definitions of beauty is a combinations of qualities, some such as shape, it's form, colors, and so on, okay? So different individual have a different, looks.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you are mentioning about K-pops and
Yeah.
So apparently it become a trend.
That's right.
Right, okay, it become a trend. And when people, okay, most of the clients that I have is like 90% is women, and all of them. It depends on the trend at times, okay?
Like, yeah,
that's right. I want to look like this person.
Okay, yeah, and then about for example, it's about 2 years back, okay, 2 or 3 years back, where the K-pop trend is like
That's right.
on the par. Everyone come and see me, doctor, can I have a V-shaped K-pop look? And the nose like this actress and this
even
actress.
Today, yeah, to keep up with the trend, even makeup-wise, their blushes are up until their nose, just to keep up with the trend.
Exactly, right?
But it is a billion-dollar industry, beauty, and it is growing. What are you seeing in the trend with more and more aesthetic centers opening up in Malaysia? Is that happening?
For me, like how I look at it is like every 500 meters, there's a aesthetic clinic
everywhere,
or medispas, It's like rival day and here, and the clients, become more and more because of the awareness, okay? All the women started, especially the youngster, okay? As early as 80, they come and see me and, they wanted to do this and that. How do you know about this? And they were like, oh, because we saw it on social media and you can do this, doctor. Sometimes they are the one who are telling me what to do. You see?
They've done their research.
They've done their research. But what I'm worried about is because aesthetic or the beauty is growing, right?
That's right.
So sometimes the obsessions towards is what worried me the most. Especially,
I want to talk about addiction now, but I think we have a video, right?
Yes, that's right. So let's have a look at what others think about shortcuts to beauty. Take a look at this.
Oh my God, I am going to tell you the truth, yeah? I have done Botox for my skin. I've tried that because I had a lot of wrinkles, but I've never done anything to change my nose, my eyes curl, going to get fillers and all that. I've never tried because I'm scared.
I'm on the fence about this one. I understand why some women choose to take it. But when they go overboard, it's like, as with anything with class and style, if it's not noticed, it works and it's much better. So for example, from a film point of view, if you notice the editing, then you can't say it's good editing. Similarly, if you notice the shortcuts, then it wasn't a great shortcut. But when you don't notice it and the person looks great, I'm all for it.
It's like a gamble, you see. So it depends on which doctor you go to, right? And then if it complements your face or not. If it doesn't, then you have to live with it or fix it and fix it again and again and again until you do it right. But for me, it's always best for you to just be who you are and for you to be comfortable in your own skin and how you are born with bigger nose or maybe wider cheeks or whatever lah. Because for me, it's all about embracing the natural beauty that you have.
Well, I like how some of them put it. They said it's a gamble. My goodness.
Yeah. Just do it, and then we'll see what are the outcomes after.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that, the sound of that. But the question, I guess, is where do we draw the line? Because there is a very thin line, in my opinion, between doing something that's good for you, makes you feel more confident, makes you feel prettier, which is important, but then it becomes a dangerous addiction.
So there is a difference, okay, between aesthetic doctor and beauticians, okay, where they are probably just do beauty, they learn about beauty, but they are not doctor, all right? Whether they are certified or uncertified, the one is different, okay? Okay, but first of all, what is aesthetic medicine first, okay? We must understand aesthetic medicine is a part of medicine, okay? So modern medicines where the doctors are trained for this, okay? But when we talk about aesthetic medicine, it's not only like we want to enhance somebody's face, but also we also help people in fix something. Okay, for example, a person who had accidents before. Okay, they have scars. They have trouble with their face. Okay, whatever, their nose, their mouth. Or
they will want to go and fix those.
Yeah, they want to be. They wanted to fix it because sometimes it's about we're talking about confidence levels as well. You know, you want to feel confident when you seeing people, your family members, your friends. You know, yeah. So this is where we have to be there as a doctor because we are not only taking care of the looks but also the mental health.
That's right, and that's an important point as well, mental health. But let's just go for a quick commercial and we'll be right back to discuss that point. Welcome back to Women Talk. So today we are discussing the topic shortcuts to beauty, and today in the studio we have Dr. Katalina, an aesthetic medical practitioner. So you were talking earlier about mental health. Would you care to elaborate more on that? I mean, do you get clients that come in with, such a desperate need for a fix?
As I mentioned earlier, about 80% of my clients is women. Okay, and then to tell you the truth, about 30 to 40% is actually already have some, affected their mental health already, Doesn't matter, it's affected their confidence level and sometimes it's affected their marriage already. Wow. Yeah, really.
So you end up having to play like
a psychiatrist.
There you go, yes.
It's
sometimes I become a doctor, at the same time, aesthetics, medicine doctor as well, and at the same time, sometimes I also play a role as a psychiatrist. That is where the aesthetic doctor is very, very important because when we at least we learn about psychiatrists when we, back in the medical school, and then in a hospital when we are doing, practice back in the hospital before. So at least we understand what's going on rather than just, injections.
Well, that's what I'm curious about, right? Because you hear these horror stories of like doctors that are too trigger happy. Whatever you go in and you don't know enough and you say, I want to try these things, and they do it all for you and it doesn't always end well. So do you ever say no to a client, or do you have experiences where clients come in and they want to do all these things to themselves and you have to go, put the brakes on a moment, let's take it back a few steps?
Yeah. Most of the time, actually, I'll say no to my clients.
Right.
That's good to know.
That's good to know.
Oh, yes, for me, okay, because there's a difference as well, being a doctor, okay, being a doctor, you are supposed to the one who are, taking care of your clients, okay, you must know what you must do to your clients, whether it's suitable for them or not, because sometimes they do so many research on YouTube, on this,
on Dr. Google.
Of course, because you want to know if your doctor is highly qualified. Yeah. I mean, that's what I look into whenever I go for clinics. I need to make sure they are qualified because there will be a problem, and most problems occur when it's the unqualified doctors that you're dealing with, right?
True. Yeah, that's why sometimes I'm worried about this, okay? Especially when they learn in the but it's not university, it's like YouTube, okay? So many fake information sometimes, especially some of the procedure done by the beauticians. Sometimes when the procedure was done on social media, all right, any social media, it turned out to be like, wow, turned out to be like so pretty.
I want that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's suitable for me. If I think I do that, I'll look more to like, this actress or that actor. I look like maybe K-pop, something like that.
But exactly, and on that exact note, I want you guys to take a watch of this VT. It's on award-winning actress Raja Ilya, and she wants to share her experience with all of us. Let's take a look.
So basically, the treatment is, they call it butt enhancement. By right, they're supposed to use whether some kind of filler to enhance the area that you want to enhance. It's quite similar like a breast implant, but this is like butt implant. And I've been scammed by this person, so-called doctor, but she's not a doctor, she's just a beautician. So the experience that I had with this person, what she has done to me, it's cost my life, and it's life-threatening treatment. She implanted a silicone oil. It is really dangerous, and especially if it's, you cannot take any, you'll be very sensitive to all kinds of drugs or medicines. In this case, I didn't know in the first place that it's a silicone oil. So this silicone oil, what it does actually, like for example, a tetanus vaccine, which is like if you got bitten by an animal, then you have to go and get this, vaccine. So if you get that thing doesn't really react well to silicone oil, and that silicone oil will go to pieces. It just break to pieces. It become like a nodule, and it will start to go all over your body and on your organs, and that's what happened to me. And I had to be admitted in a hospital for weeks and transferred from one hospital to another hospital because they have to put me in ICU, and they have no clue, no idea what's going on because my breathing, I have problem in breathing, and my blood pressure is like running down. That's where I know that it's a silicone oil. I didn't know for the past 7 years I'm carrying a silicone oil in my body. So I'm still carrying that now. And yeah, even when I fall pregnant, I took all my medical document from previous hospital and just pass it over to the hospital here and just check with them. Will this thing cause anything to my pregnancy? Because I'm so worried because it's everywhere in my body. But they say like that's fine because it's near your organ, it's on your spine, it's not anywhere in your womb, so you'll be fine.
Wow, what a story. I feel so bad for Raja Ilya. She's actually in Australia right now, and that's why she was on video call sharing her experience with us. Sounds like a horror story, but in our defense, when we go to a clinic, when we go to a Medispa, how do we know? I mean, if someone lies to us, if they say they're putting A but they put B, how do we be educated and informed?
Oh my God, I've been seeing a lot of clients, comes to me with a lot of complications. Exactly just like in the video just now, okay, because of the fake filler. Okay, so this is what I really want to, to create the awareness to the people, to the women out there. Okay, there is two types of fillers that, first of all, that everyone must know. First is fillers. Okay, we must understand what is fillers first. Okay, fillers is like something that you must fill in. So that is why it become filler. Okay. But what is the substance inside is actually most important. Okay, like what happened to her is actually we call it fake filler. Okay.
So what is the substance inside a filler?
Is, okay, you're gonna be surprised, and the women out there as well. Okay, to tell you guys, I'm going to open up about this. Okay, she mentioned about oil. Okay, but it's true. There is an oil. They use cooking oils as well. Like just what happened to her just now is like they're using oil. Okay, but seriously. Actually, there's an uncertified beauticians out there. They use cooking oil. They use Vaseline.
I can't believe
really.
That.
And some of them they mention or they name this thing has a collagen filler. Please, women, please. Well, whoever come and see you and saying that, oh, don't worry, we are using collagen filler. There is no such thing as collagen filler. No, seriously.
Oh.
Okay, it's just fake filler. If you want to do fillers, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, but must always ask whoever is providing, but please do with doctors.
Okay, like Dr. Katalina say, please do it with doctors.
With doctors, please, who are skillful and experienced doctor, not just a normal doctor, because aesthetic is actually our master. We do master in aesthetic, so it must be a normal doctor.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. Okay.
So we're gonna jump to a quick break now. We don't want to stop this conversation, but we got
It's just getting interesting.
When we come back, we want to actually dig a little bit deeper into the difference between clinics, med-spas, and we want to ensure that you guys are more informed so you know where you're going, so you don't end up in difficult situations. We'll see you after this.
With regards to Adam's case, it's actually right now in court. We just filed a summons against the clinic and also a few doctors. I cannot disclose much. I can disclose to the extent that my client went for a rhinoplasty. There were some results that were not satisfactory to what he expected it to be, and he has taken an action for damages to rectify back his nose. You know, once this has happened, the obvious reaction is to do a repair work. It's not to litigate. And the repair work, either you go back to the same clinic or you go to another clinic. All this is actually the process that everyone goes through. When it comes to one point that they have given up and they see that the repair work may not be as satisfactory as to what they want, then litigation comes in. So by that time, a lot of process has taken place which may defeat the right to take action for the first malpractice or negligence. The kind of evidence that we are looking at is to show that you actually went to the clinic. You were attended by a certain doctor. And all the documents that the doctor prescribed before the surgery or before the operation takes place has to be kept. All communications with the doctor also has to be kept. Also the progress of how before and after pictures all has to be taken, so that when the matter has to be litigated in court, all the documents, evidence is all ready.
So these cases, is it normal to happen? Is it frequent to happen?
It's very normal if it's done by the beauticians, especially the uncertified ones, but it's a very rare cases like this happen when the aesthetic doctors doing it. Okay, so when I saw the VT just now, the procedure that Adam Hamil did is a rhinoplasty. So rhinoplasty is actually not aesthetic doctor's job scope. It's actually under plastic surgery.
And so, he went to a beautician.
He went to, if I'm not mistaken, is the aesthetic doctor. Aesthetic center, aesthetic doctor. I hope it's the doctor. So that is where the problems comes actually.
So now jumping a little bit to guidelines, to the legal aspect of things. What is our government, the Ministry of Health, actually doing to try to regulate this? Because like the lawyer said earlier, it is quite an interesting and challenging domain. It's very wide. So what are the guidelines? And also for individuals out there, how can they be a little bit more discerning when it comes to choosing where to go to do what?
Actually, aesthetic medicine in the world is already for about 35 years already. But in Malaysia, it's just recognized. So the awareness, about the guidelines, about the procedures, what you should do and don't, and who you have to go for this kind of procedure is quite new, and not everyone knows about this. And so I always try to create awareness about this. So what is very important is please try to avoid, first of all, it's a very shortcut. Don't go to the uncertified beauticians, first of all, please. If you want to go to ear piercing or whatever, I think it's very general. You can go there. All right.
Still takut juga.
Still takut juga. It's like infections, things like that, right? Yeah. But something, if you want to do something like injectable, like minimal invasive or invasive, please come and see a doctor. At least we know anatomy. At least we are trained with the, aseptic techniques, things like that. We have to make sure all the surrounding, just like the lawyer said, we have to make sure the surrounding is clean, aseptic. So then, in order for us to, prepare and do the procedure, so at least we know about this, And then, of course, you have to do the research, But regarding about the guidelines, right? The guidelines, the MOH already started to provide the guidelines, But not to the people out there, but to us, the doctors. okay, to the doctors. But again, the guidelines is only like is only to the doctors, not preventing the beauticians out there for not doing it.
Right.
So that is the problems. Yeah, it's not about the doctors not doing job.
So the consequences of doing procedures, the wrong procedures in the wrong places, and not being fully sincere to your clients, the repercussions for that are still not heavy, and people get away basically with it. Right?
Yeah, because of the clients who did this procedure, it just went wrong. They're just shy.
Yeah.
They're just shy to tell to the people out there that they did this to this beauty center whatsoever. And also the KKM, the MOH, okay? Because
rules.
whatever happened and they fix it in the hospital, we don't normally expose.
Yeah, we don't
unless you want to be exposed. It's like a PNC kind of thing. So a lot of people out there, they don't know about this because of this issue.
We would love to talk about this for like another 5 hours, because there's so much to talk about when it comes to beauty.
Thank you so much, Katalina.
Yes, my pleasure.
Being here in the studio with us. So basically, do your research, do your homework. I mean, everybody wants to stay beautiful, but homework and research is very, truly important.
Go speak to people, speak to friends, visit different doctors and clinics. But I think, as Doctor said, right, check the surroundings around you. You've got to be responsible for yourself as well.
That's right.
And if something does go wrong, there are opportunities, like we saw with Adam's case. There are avenues to seek help, legal help, to ensure that it doesn't happen to somebody else as well. We hope you got really great bits of wisdom when it comes to beauty. It does come at a cost, so be responsible about what you do. My name's Deborah.
I'm Siti Saleha, and see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Quite interesting. There's, I think, the previous beauty is saying that it's the beauty is you yourself. You have the work. Repairing is actually much more expensive rather than to do it. You know, right? Because sometimes what happens, why people choose beauticians is because of the price budget. Okay, because of the price is like so much cheaper, and they always say that with the beauticians they have this mantra that you do with us so we can last longer.
Wow.
You know, when you do it with doctors, it's like a temporary, like after 8 months, it just goes away.
I will be calling you next week. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
A lot of people, what they do now is like, they're so concerned about the money. They want everything cheap. Make sure you do enough research.